welcome fans of Play on Tabletop to this, our very first Age of Sigmar game. We are super excited to have veteran AOS player Tanya the Warmistress to face off against our very own Nick with his beautifully painted Lumineth Realm Lords in a battle of ogres versus elves. This is gonna be fantastic.
Diving into this fantasy realm today, the mortal realms, and I'm playing the elves, and I couldn't be more excited.
Ogres are very large. They are driven by their beliefs in the Great Maw to go out and consume as much as they possibly can. And today on the menu is Lumineth. I hope Nick is ready.
I love these miniatures. The Lumineth Realm Lords captured me when they first came out, from their elegant pikes to their Dawn Rider cavalry, and especially the Light of Eltharion. That model, it's like a ghost warrior. It's the remains of one of the heroes of old. It's just so cool.
Back in November of 2022, one of our stretch goals for the campaign was to have an AOS battle on the channel. Well, we hit that stretch goal, and here it is, folks, our first ever official AOS in 40 minutes? Nick has brought his freshly painted Lumineth Realm Lords, courtesy of our patron Dr. Rhino, to face Tanya's Ogor Mawtribes in this General's Handbook 2023 pitch battle.
Tanya, welcome to the studio!
It's so good to be back.
We're playing AOS today.
Yeah.
Age of Sigmar, Fantasy Warhammer.
I'm just really excited to be able to share the experience with you.
Yeah, you're gonna eat me though, I believe.
That's what ogres do. They eat everything. Even things that are not edible, they'll still eat them.
Deployment, how do we figure out who deploys first?
So we roll a dice, and whoever gets the highest gets to pick if they're the attacker or the defender.
In deployment in Age of Sigmar, the highest roll will decide who's the attacker and defender, just like 40k. However, whoever deploys all of their army first actually gets to decide who has the first turn. Looks like that's going to be Tanya going away, as she has very few units in her army.
So I have 2, 4, 6, 8 drops.
I've got 12.
Tanya has some beefy boys on the table today. Her Tyrant General leads a Bloodpelt Hunter as well as a Butcher and Frostlord on Stonehorn.
We have both taken the Galician Sharpshooters Battalion, which allows us to target characters with our ranged attacks, but I only have 2 units that can do that, and they are one of them.
An Iron Blaster, 2 squads of Leadbelchers, and 8 Iron Guts provide the backbone of her force. Speaking of bones, the Great Maw Pot is also on the table. Soup is most definitely on.
This is a Maw Pot, and it starts the game full of soup.
You've got soup?
I've got soup
It's all
in
the
there.
poor villagers.
That's right. At any point, a character that was within 6 inches of it can basically dish the soup out to all units within 36 inches of it, and they all heal D3 wounds. And if I kill a model within 6 inches of it, I can just throw it back into the pot and it fills back up, and then I can do it again.
That's vile soup.
I'm not sure if the ogres actually think that elves are a delicacy, because they don't have a lot of meat on their bones, but they're willing to give it a try anyway.
I'm gonna come and protect the villagers. I'm gonna save the town.
Nick's army consists of the Light of Eltharion, a Cenari Caligrave, and a Cenari Enlightener.
And look, he lights up.
His general is a Venari Lord Regent. He's got 2 squads of Dawn Riders, a 10 and a 5-man, 2 squads of 10 Orlan Wardens, 20 Orlan Sentinels with a Star Shard Ballista, and 5 Venari Blade Lords. That's a lot of elves and some serious shoosting with mortal wounds thanks to the power of Hish. They could really be key for him to cut down those ogres as they approach.
I'm deployed. Finally, everything's on the table.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really have too much of a plan, but
You're ogres, they don't care, they think of the
No.
stomachs, right?
that's right. I finished deploying all of my units first, so I get to decide who goes first.
And it's gonna be you, isn't
I
it?
wanna go first.
You wanna go first?
Yeah.
First turn is yours. Good luck, Tanya. This is gonna be
Good
fun.
luck.
This episode's sponsor is GameMat.eu. GameMat.eu can turn your tabletop into a real battlefield. Their products are ready for battle straight out of the box and suitable for war games and board games like Warhammer 40k, Age of Sigmar, Kill Team Necromunda, Star Wars Legion, X-Wing, and many, many others. Let them help you build your battleground. Check out GameMat.eu and tell them PlayOn sent you.
First thing that we need to do is you need to pick one of the objectives in No Man's Land to be activated.
Today we are playing The Price of Galette out of the General's Handbook Season 2. This mission uses Amberstone deposits to score for objectives. You score 1 for holding 1, score 1 for holding 2, and score 1 for holding more than their opponent.
Okay, so this one would be dumb because you could just go take it. This one would be dumb because you could go take it. But this one would be brilliant because you will have a hard time getting it and I can get it easy.
They must be activated, however, in order to score them, and the second turn player will choose which one becomes active each battle round.
This token is activated. That's the only one we could score primary points on right now. You come over here and take it, I will charge you and eat you. Wait, that's your thing.
Once active, they stay active for the rest of the game. Players also score 2 victory points for completing a battle tactic, and of course 3 points should they complete their grand strategy. Hero phase now. Tanya's choosing Cunning Maneuver for her battle tactic. Her Bloodpelt Hunter is going to score her points should they hold an objective outside of her deployment zone.
That sounds very doable for you.
It does.
Especially for this one, because you double up on it.
The player going first gains 1 command point, the player going second gains 2, and if your general is alive and on the table, you gain another command point. Those command points, however, are gone at the end of the turn, so it's absolutely advantageous to spend them as you get them.
I think it's worth it to put him out there in order to get some points. I am going to cast some spells. 30 inches, and you do not need line of sight.
I have wizards all across my army. Almost my entire army is wizards.
Tanya casting Mystic Shield in her hero phase. Nick fails to unbind it, and the Frostlord on Stonehorn is going to gain +1 to his saving throw.
My second spell is going to be coming from the Butcher back here.
Now casting Blubbergrub Stench on the Iron Blaster War Machine.
What the heck is that?
Blubbergrub Stench is a spell that allows my artillery piece to do mortal wounds on the charge on 4s. It allows him to count as 10 models on the objective, and he can do a monstrous action. So I cast it on a 10.
Going down the rank here, the Sentinels over here will try to deny it.
Okay.
I do not. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Monsters can do cool stuff in Age of Sigmar, and this is a pretty solid tactic.
That's it for my casts. I only have the 2.
Tanya gets to choose a heroic action, and that's going to give her Frostlord a command point on a 4-up, and she succeeds. Now that's only for him to issue commands with. That's going to turn him into a monster just for a turn. That's kind of fun.
For my heroic action, I'm going to see if I can get a command point as well.
Nick attempts the same for the Light of Eltharion, and he fails.
No good for me.
So I'm going to start by running my Bloodpelt Hunter. I basically just need a 1. Pretty good. So he's gonna go 12. I wanna go as far back as I can.
Objectives are a little bit different in this. You just have to be within 6 inches, not 3 inches. It's
Correct.
a lot bigger.
It is, it's a lot bigger. I'm just gonna move these lead belchers. And they get +2 inches as well, because nothing is around them.
This artillery just looks so juicy. Just come closer. Come closer.
Okay, so I'm gonna come up then. I don't see any point in really putting this really expensive unit that I have on the flank up in range of getting absolutely demolished. It's a lot of points that I have invested, and I would rather save it as a second round charge in order to clear out some of the more armored units. So I'm just being a little bit cautious with it, but in turn 2 or possibly turn 3, it's gonna put in a lot of work for me.
Tanya's moved up a little bit, though she's got to know that Nick can charge her from almost everywhere.
Oh, that's scary. That Frostlord is barreling down on my lines, but I think I can take it. I've got those pikes. I get bonuses when he charges me. It's gonna be great.
He's a little fast. He's a little bit angry. He's very hungry. He's positioned and ready. If I get the charge off, I can get this monstrous rampage, which is going to get me up and over that screening unit into the tasty archers in the back. The unfortunate thing is that this fine gentleman has to stay fairly close because it's an 18-inch aura, essentially.
So the chef is moving up saying, here, have some food.
Pretty much. So they're just going to swing around like this. Save him from at least getting ballisted to death. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. I'm gonna do a little bit of shooting. I'm only gonna get 2 guys in here. They did move, so they get D3 shots each.
Ooh.
If they don't move, they get D6 shots.
-1 to hit me, because I'm the Shining Company.
That is right. They're gonna hit on 5s now. I'm gonna wound on 3s. 1 wound, -1 rend.
See if I can, oh, I failed. 1 guy's died.
manages to take down a warden. She doesn't have a lot of shooting otherwise. However, the Iron Blaster is about to try to down that Star Shard Ballista.
We're doing cannons versus bows here.
She spends a command point on all-out attack, giving her +1 to hit, hits it twice, and wounds it once. Down to 1 command point remaining, but that's enough to potentially kill the Ballista.
I'm actually gonna spend an Aether Quartz right now.
Okay.
So he's down to 2 Aether Quartz. Bravery goes down by 1, but we don't care about that because it's an artillery.
Nick spends an Aether Quartz, a Lumineth-specific mechanic. As he is the great nation of CR, he has 2 per unit to spend, and his save still fails. However, he does shrug some of the damage with his ward save of 6-up, and he only takes 3 wounds.
I'm alive with 2 wounds remaining.
I was hoping that both of my wounds would go through. It didn't work out that way. That's my shooting.
That's everything.
That's it.
What about those guys?
They're not in range. I'm gonna try and charge you.
I'm actually really terrified of this. Unsupported by himself, you're just charging into like 90% of my army.
I mean, I have to kill the archers, and I have to kill them quickly.
Bring it on.
Charge phase now. Frostlord is in on the charge with a 7 into the Orlan Wardens. That's 7 dice for impact hits, and he takes 3 mortals,
3 more ones. I don't think I can do a thing about that.
killing 3 models.
Bye, guys. Ah! Well, that was brutal.
I make the charge, I do my impact hits into his front screen, and it's time to roll the 3d6 for this monstrous rampage.
Now Tanya uses a monstrous action to unstoppable charge.
Basically, I will roll 3d6, and that will tell me how far he can move over your models, because he now has the fly keyword for this specific action. And anything that I pass over is going to take D3 mortal wounds.
So is your plan to try to get here?
Yeah.
But you have to probably clear it?
I have to clear it.
Yeah.
I need to roll high so that I can clear both of those units and get into combat on the other side. That's pretty good, actually. 13 inches.
Oh, wow.
And 3d6 allows her to effectively fly over units, doing a mortal to the pikemen and 3 more to the archers.
Pikemen at the front
Yeah.
will do theirs first. On a 2-up, they take D3 mortal wounds.
Wow.
So they do. They're going to take 1.
Okay, 1 dies. Ah!
I also passed over the archers. So on a 2-up, they will also take D3. They do. They're going to take 3.
Okay.
This is a suicide move for
You're
me.
expecting him to die?
Yes, with a 450 point.
I've got a lot here that should be able to deal with it.
Every single thing is going to go into the archers.
Okay, the archers are like terrified.
They should be.
The Frostlord on the Stonehorn uses his command point to offset Nick's -1 to hit with a +1.
I really can't afford to have any minuses on me. So my first attack is with my Frost Spear.
And Nick uses an Aether Quartz to get another +1 to his save.
2.
Both go through.
6 damage total.
6 damage is 6 dead guys. And more models go down.
I'm going to kick you.
You're gonna kick me.
Yes. So this will be 3s to hit and 3s to wound.
On a 4. No, come on, dice. You can do better than that.
1 damage.
1 damage. 1 more dies.
We're going to do our horns next. 3s.
On 6s. I got 1. I saved 1 of them. 4 more damage? Oh my goodness. You're just chewing through these guys. 4 more gone. Tanya, I think the rest will just run away.
-1 rend. Okay, so this is D3 plus 1. So 3.
I have 3 guys remaining.
17 dead archers and 4 dead pikemen. Wow!
That's amazing. I actually kind of think this is really cool. Like, yes, it's gonna be devastating to my archers, but I love the imagery of it just barreling, blasting through my lines, pushing guys left and right as it's gonna just pop up some heads in the background. It's great.
While I am disappointed I didn't clear this unit entirely, I am very happy that there are way less shots coming into me next round.
Maybe he doesn't fly, maybe he just charges clean through them. Elves flying off the horns. Why do I see Lord of the Rings right now?
Wow, that was brutal. Wow.
But now everything.
Oh, everything's going after it for
Yeah.
sure. It's
Yeah.
vengeance.
Yes.
Well, my archers are almost gone. I'm gonna spend a command point to make sure that they auto-pass their bravery test. And I'm gonna hope to bring some of them back with a rally command in my command phase. That's a lot of dead archers.
Yeah, there's ways to get them back though.
I do have to take a bravery test for them though.
That's correct.
Stay there, archers. Don't run away.
Battle Shock phase, and Nick spends a command point to take him down to 2 to auto-pass his Battle Shock on his archers, but the pikemen fail, and he loses 3 more models.
There is a giant hole where my army used to be, Tanya.
But you have all this still. Look at it.
Sure, I guess.
You got to see what the Frost Lord does.
And now I get to see a Frost Lord die. She has now put that very expensive HQ unit within beautiful charge range of all of my army.
At the end of Tanya's turn 1, she has scored 4 total points. 2 for primary, and 2 for battle tactics scored because cunning maneuver has completed. Tanya ticks up another command point because her general is still in the field, and Nick also ticks up another command point because of his general. Tanya sits at 2 to Nick's 3.
My battle tactic for this round is going to be blind the enemy.
Nick chooses blind the enemy for his battle tactic this round. He needs to successfully cast 4 spells to succeed at that tactic.
I think that's doable considering every single model in my army is a wizard. I think it's time to choose Finest Hour.
Oh, are you sending the light?
Oh, the light's coming in. The light wants to do.
I think that I also have to Finest Hour just to negate some of your rend.
Nick's choosing Finest Hour, and so is Tanya. It looks like a toe-to-toe Light of Eltharion versus Frostlord on Stonehorn in this hero phase.
I'm a little worried about it, actually. I have a lot here, but I actually am not confident about killing it.
Nick spends a command point to rally his archers. On 6s, he's going to get a model back out of the 17 dead.
Don't fail me now.
And 5 come back. He's down to 2 command points.
That's like half a unit.
That's very good.
Then we're gonna go do all the magic. I've got lots of magic.
I have 2 denies, so I have to pick carefully.
Which can deny?
This one?
Yep.
And that one.
Nick casts Power of Hish on his Dawn Riders on his right flank. 5+ to wound is going to give out mortal wounds. Tanya fails to deny it.
The Enlightener is now gonna cast an Eclipse.
His Enlightener casts Total Eclipse with a casting cost of 9, and he uses his once per battle effect to automatically cast it. And now Tanya must spend 2 command points on commands instead of 1 until Nick's next hero phase. That's big.
All of my command abilities are now doubled in cost, which makes it really a tactical decision where I'm going to spend these points.
Archers now attempt the Power of Hish and succeeds.
Try to beat a 7.
Nope.
Speed of Hish now on the pikeman. That succeeds.
Already achieved my battle tactic. That was really easy. My Caligrave is gonna cast Protection of Hish. Gives me a ward save.
The Caligrave caster perils. Oh no! Nick can reroll with an Ether Quartz. He succeeds. Protection of Hish will now give a 5-up ward to all within 9 inches. That's a 5-up ignore damage. But he's out of Ether Quartz rerolls for this phase.
Dawn Riders over here. They're also gonna cast Power of Hish.
As you do.
That's a success. You can't deny it. So their sun metal weapons are now better. The Lord Regent is going to cast the Greater Power of Hish.
His Venari Regent fails to cast Greater Power of Hish. The pikemen peril their attempt at Power of Hish, and the caster is dead. No more casting for them the rest of this phase. However, all that casting, Nick has succeeded at his battle tactic.
All right, in the movement phase, these guys are going to just go flat out 14 inches. It's so freaking fast. So I'm gonna take my Dawn Riders and I'm gonna move up and try to take that objective. I think they can take out that Beastmaster person, Trap Master, what's his name? And now that I've moved within 9 inches of you, I believe you have the option of running away.
He's just gonna stay there and eat the charge.
Yeah, that's
yum,
great.
Yum, yum, yum. If my command abilities cost 1, like they normally do, I would have redeployed him out of the way and tried to make their charge a little bit harder. However, he just has to stay there because I really need all-out defense on my Frostlord on Stonehorn because he might live. I really don't think that the Blood Pelt Hunter's gonna live.
And then I'm just gonna move everything over here to try to kill this thing.
Nick really wants that Stonehorn out of his face, and he's setting up to do so.
My Pikesman will just move up a little bit. The Light of Eltharion is gonna move up here to try to charge you. The Blade Bastards move to support. And then all of this cavalry. The Lord Regent wants to do some damage to you too. And then all the knights wheel around, charge. So these guys are gonna pull back 6 inches.
Okay.
In the shooting phase,
Yep.
the first thing that's gonna happen is the Light of Eltharion is going to do a non-shooting shooting attack. I'm gonna target this guy right here.
Okay.
On a 2-up, I do mortal wounds.
Okay.
It was a 2.
Oh no.
Light of Eltharion does some mortal wounds to the Stonehorn in the shooting phase.
13 wounds remaining. All these archers into this big cannon thing. On 4s.
Archers have stripped a wound off Tanya's Iron Blaster cannon.
So the ballista's gonna fire into that cannon as well. We'll trade shots back and forth here.
Now Nick's Ballista fires. 2 wounds doing 3 damage each, and Tanya fails both saves, does 6 wounds to the Iron Blaster.
Down to two.
left.
The Enlightener has a missile weapon. Might as well shoot it right here at this Frostgrave troll thing.
He's an ogre.
D6 attacks with a crown staff. 6 attacks! Hitting on a 3.
Okay.
Wounding on a 3.
Finest hour puts me down to 2, and then your rend puts me back up to a 3. I saved them all.
Thanks to our finest hour, the Stonehorn saves all of the Enlightener's shots. Nick's charge phase now. Dawn Raider's charging the Bloodpelt Hunter. He needs a 4 and gets exactly a 4. Woof!
Whoa!
Just barely.
Just barely. So we'll go right in there.
The Light of Eltharion now into the Frostlord and Stonehorn, and Nick rolls Snake Eyes. Oh no!
Oh, it's a double 1! Yes! Double 1s means I fail the charge. Definitely need to spend a command point to reroll that.
Okay.
Command reroll now, and he succeeds, but he's only down to 1 command point.
The light is gonna go all the way around the corner and chop off your tail.
No.
Next, the Blade Masters are gonna charge in as well. They need a 4.
Okay.
They got it with an 11.
The Venari Blade Masters charge the Stonehorn now, and they're in, and the Warden is in as well with a 4.
The Warden charges in. Rah! And then lastly, the Dawn Riders are just gonna barrel in there. Like, I don't like what you did to my archers. You're paying for it here.
Beginning of the fight phase, I'm going to do my monstrous action.
Combat phase, Monstrous Roar, and that will stop the Dawn Riders from gaining any commands, and 2 command points on all-out defense instead of 1 because of the total eclipse power that Nick casts sees Tanya out of command points.
No command points left.
I love that I made you spend 2 rather than 1.
But that still may keep the Frostlord alive. The Light of Eltharion will start this fracas.
So now we go to the combat phase. Now we go back and forth in Age of Sigmar, which is a little bit more interesting than 40k. However, because I'm the Lumineth Realm Lords, I actually get to pick 2 at once rather than just 1. The Light of Eltharion is gonna see if he has enough damage to take out this thing all by himself.
It's going to be tough because I have a 0 up save currently when it comes to dealing with your rend, and he's -1 to be wounded at all times.
Light of Eltharion could potentially down the Rhino on his own, but not with that roll. Woof! Frostlord on Stonehorn survives the first set of attacks.
4 damage total for me in
So
my
far.
ward save. I don't save any of them.
You've taken 4 damage, bringing yourself down to 9. Then I've got my other blade, which also gets 2 more attacks. Hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s.
2 up, saved.
That's it for him. I'm gonna go next with the Dawn Riders. They're gonna try to see if they can kill. So I'm gonna pile in to get more guys in range. I'm gonna use one of their Aether Quartz to give them +1 to hit.
The Dawn Riders try the same now. Nick's using an Aether Quartz, there'll be +1 to hit, and he's taken the Frostlord on Stonehorn down to 5 wounds left.
All right, well, that wasn't as good as I thought it might be. So I've done 2 units, and you're down to 5 wounds.
Tanya responds with splitting her attacks here, trying to minimize Nick's continued pummeling of her Frostlord.
Ooh, what are you gonna try to kill?
If I get any wounds on your Lord Regent, so if I get a wound to 6, all of his attacks will be -1. And then everything else is gonna go into the blade axe.
Okay.
So I'm not actually planning to kill anything with the Frost Spear. I'm just hoping to stay alive. So 4 attacks with the Frost Spear into your Lord. So 3s, 2 hits, looking for 6s. Nope, 2 wounds.
I get a 4 up. So I actually saved 2 of those, so 1
All right.
damage goes through.
Well, my plan didn't work out, but it was worth a try.
I am down to 5 wounds remaining on my Lord Regent.
3 attacks from kicks going into your swordsman there. So then this will be 4s and 2s.
4 ups. Save 2 of them, and then a 5 up. Ignore. No, goes through. One of the Blade Masters has 1 wound remaining.
4 attacks from my horns,
Just got more attacks. Just bashing in.
but I'm -1 to hit you, so these are going to be 5s and 2s. Nope, nothing there. And then D6 attacks for 6, 4s and 2s.
2 wounds at -1.
D3 each, so 4 damage.
4 ward saves on a 5 up. I got 1 of them, so 3 damage go through.
Down go 2 Venari Swordmasters. There's 3 left. That probably means, though, that the Stonehorn is gonna go down.
I wasn't expecting to take so many losses there. That was pretty rough. You can't fight here again.
Nope.
So I'm gonna go right over here
'Kay.
before you fight me here. Hitting on 3s.
He's got 4 wounds left.
3 hooves. 2 hits.
5 up. Nope, goes through.
And then the sword.
-1, 6 up to save. Nope, he's down to 2.
You get to activate 2 units before you get to go again. So I will go now with my Lord Regent. And instead of doing his attacks, he has an enhancement to allow him to just auto do a bunch of mortal wounds. So I gotta roll a 2-up. I did it, successful. Now I do D6 mortal wounds.
Oh no.
2!
5s to save? Nope.
All right.
I apparently
Got you
can't
down to
roll.
3.
I apparently can't roll a ward save.
And then before I roll with my sword masters, blade masters, you get to go with him.
So this will be 4s and 3s. Nope.
Lastly, my sword masters, my blade masters go right now. They're gonna do the perfect strike.
'Kay.
Which means that all I need to do is roll a 2-up and it does a mortal wound.
'Kay.
You have 3 wounds left. So I have 3 dice. I need 3 2-ups to kill you outright right here.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I did it!
Oh, no,
Sliced.
no,
Oh, you
no,
got a ward save.
No.
Word save of a what?
A 5.
A 5,
But
okay.
I haven't made any yet, so.
Well, you're gonna do it.
Oh,
He's still alive!
He lives! Even using his almighty blow ability, the Stonehorn is still up. That is so unexpected.
He lives with 2 freaking wounds!
This is amazing. These 2 characters not dying have really set me up for a really cool turn 2. I have managed to deny Nick points by just having this one character, the Blood Pelt Hunter, just alive on an objective, which is more than I could have asked for. And at the same time, my Stonehorn is still alive as well. So even if I get double turned, you know, Nick's gonna have to make some tough decisions next turn.
I'm really disappointed my guys didn't kill you. Look at all that! Why didn't they kill you?
Battle Shock phase, the Venari Swordmasters actually need to test here. On a 6, they will run, but they're okay.
They're fine. All good. All right, well, that's the end of my turn. We've contested this. I didn't actually take it from you, so I don't score the primary. Did, however, do my battle tactic, getting me some points there. And, oh boy, how is he still alive?
I don't know.
That's gonna be trouble. I really kind of hope I get that double turn. I get to go first in this next round because I need to deal with it before the rest of Tanya's army hits my lines. Let's see what happens, turn 2. All right, Tanya, round 2. And before we go further, I gotta say, there's something special on the line.
I want those.
We have produced a new set of dice that you can only get by winning on Play on Tabletop. Our custom victory dice from Baron Dice, and they are gorgeous. I haven't won a set yet, and I want this set. So to the winner goes the spoils.
I'm a dice goblin. I want those so bad.
4-2 at the end of battle round 1, and now we roll for priority. This is unique to AOS, and it's entirely possible that Nick could get what we would call a double turn. Whoever rolls highest is gonna go next. And it's Nick.
Nick choosing to go first is excellent because if I would have won the priority, I would have made him go first anyway.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but do we not identify another objective marker now?
I do, and I get to choose.
Because you're going second.
Going second, Tanya chooses her home objective to be active for scoring purposes. Going second in AOS is not as much of a detriment as it can be in Warhammer 40k.
So I managed to get first this turn. That is both a blessing and a curse. Good because I'm going to be able to deal with her characters. That's awesome. But bad because Tanya gets to pick which objective is active. And of course she picks the one in her deployment zone. I will get 1 command point, then another, and you will get 2, and then I'll get another one for having a
General
alive. And then I gotta choose a battle tactic.
Nick's battle tactic is priority target. If he kills that cannon, which is currently a monster, he will score 2 for his battle tactic.
I've chosen a really good battle tactic this round. I have to kill a monster unit with my ballista.
That seems like
I think that's very
fairly
doable. Because I only need 1 to get through.
Tanya's choosing heroic action to attempt to heal her Bloodhell Hunter, and it succeeds. 2 wounds back to that character. Now he's a real threat. Nick also tries to heal and fails his heroic action to do so. Oh no!
He's too scared about this giant frost troll.
Yep.
Nick rallies his archers again for 1 command point. He's down to 1, and he only brings back 1 of them.
Time for movement.
No, you need to do all your spells.
Spells! I forgot about spells. Everybody's wizards.
That's right.
Spellcasting time. Dawn Riders in combat attempt to jack up their weapons with the power of Hish. Archers also succeed with the same, and the pikemen gain it with their sun metal weapons. The second Dawn Riders attempt and succeed, and Tanya fails to stop it.
My Lord Regent is going to do the greater power of Hish. And
The greater power of Hish succeeds. The Enlightener recasts his Eclipse power, spending an Ether Quartz to do so, and it still fails.
7, not enough.
Casting Mystic Shield on these archers to give them +1 to save. The protection of Hish succeeds. 5-up ward save again all around that Caligrave.
Movement phase, these guys are just gonna move a little bit to hide behind the building. I'm gonna bank on the Light of Eltharion dealing with the character in the back there, and everything else is just gonna charge forward, ready for next turn, being able to do some damage finally.
Nick's got a lot of choices to make in his movement phase. He's got to move out with a few of them.
I'm actually gonna move back a little bit with these spearmen.
Archers are going to move up, try to take some shots here. Dawn Riders are falling back. Interesting choice.
Perfect.
I think
Everything is going to plan.
I'm actually gonna just move them up right here, getting ready for next turn. In an aggressive display of tactical brilliance, I think I'm gonna fall back with the Lord Regent as well. Caligrave will just move up a little bit, and Lightner will move up a little bit. Moon phase done.
Yes.
Shooting phase.
Yes.
Ballista.
Yeah.
Gonna shoot into that cannon.
I know that it's very unlikely that I'm going to keep this cannon alive. He's probably going to get his battle tactic. However, I am definitely going to spend my all-out defense on that cannon, just on the off chance that I can roll a high enough save to keep it alive.
Tanya spends a command point on all-out defense on her Iron Blaster in Nick's shooting phase. The Ballista still hits,
It'll kill you if you don't get a 5.
but she saves the shot.
That's a whole point for me. Oh, man. Ah! I just needed 1 wound through and that cannon would have been gone.
This is his first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
These archers, we're gonna shoot into here, but if that thing's still alive, it can really do some damage.
Potentially. It does have to hit you.
You know what? I'm gonna leave it. You can have that cannon.
Archers are going to use all-out attack here, and Nick is out of command points, shooting at that Blood Pelt Hunter. 2 mortals, 2 hits at -1, downs the Blood Pelt Hunter.
I killed him.
You got him.
The last shooting ability I have is actually the Light of Eltharion. It's not actually a shooting attack. I just get to roll a dice, and on a 2-up, I do damage.
Okay.
Oh, that's really sucks.
The Light of Eltharion fails to kill the Frost Lord on Stonehorn. Oh no!
Charge phase. I don't have any charges. Fight phase.
Okay.
I'm gonna choose the Light of Eltharion.
Okay.
And he's gonna try to kill this thing.
Light of Eltharion into the Stonehorn. All-out defense from Tanya, and she's down to 1 command point. Can Nick finally kill it? He can. Wow, that took 3/4 of his army to do.
I'm not really that sad about losing the Frost Lord on the Stonehorn. He overperformed. He did amazing. I'm just so ecstatic that he survived this long. He really put the pressure on, which allowed my other units to come out and score points.
That's my turn.
Next turn 2 summary, he's going to score a primary point, and he's going to score no priority target, unfortunately, because the Iron Blaster cannon stayed up. He sits at 3 points to Tanya's 4 points. He has no command points to Tanya's 1 as we head into Tanya's half of turn 2.
So, my battle tactic is going to be gaining momentum, which means that I have to pick a unit, I have to kill that unit, and I have to hold more objectives than you. So, I have to come and get this. I don't have to kill them. I just have to take that objective and kill something else. So I'm going to try and get your Ballista, because it only has 2 wounds left.
Tanya to 2 command points and Nick up to 1, and Tanya's going to need to kill a unit and then hold more objectives than Nick with gaining momentum.
Okay, I'm gonna use the command point, and the archers are gonna rally with 11 dice.
Nick again attempts to rally his archers, no 6s and a wasted command point. Tanya tries to gain a command point on her Butcher for heroic action, and that fails.
I'll try to heal my Lord Regent with my heroic action.
Nick fails to heal his Lord Regent with his heroic action.
So I'm going to try and cast Blubber Grub Stench on the Butcher.
Blubbergrub Stench is successfully cast. Nick fails to stop it, and she's made any Rhinox within 18 inches monsters.
I'm going to eat the soup.
Using the soup! The Battle Broth gives back 1 wound, and now the pot is empty.
For 1.
That wasn't very good tasting soup.
Also, my Butcher has to roll because he cast. If he rolls a 1, he takes a mortal wound.
Because he has to add part of himself to the soup?
Yeah, he's fine. He could technically heal D3, but I'm gonna move.
The Butcher runs in the movement phase to keep up with the Iron Blaster. The Iron Guts are gonna auto-run 6 inches for a command point for on the double. Tanya's down to 1 command point, but those Iron Guts are closing quickly. The Tyrant closes in as well. He's also gonna run.
Everybody's moved. I still need to spend my last command point on my Iron Blaster. I want to give it all out attack because it doesn't hit very well. 2 shots, and I'm going to hit on 3s, and I'm going to wound on 2s. So 3s, 2 wounds, -2.
Nick spends his last Ether Quartz on his Ballista. That Iron Blaster has put a big hurt on it.
No 6s.
So that'll be 9 damage.
Nope.
And down it goes. Lead Belchers now to the archers.
Not the archers.
They'll be fine, I promise. Now 3s to wound.
I have a 5-up ward save. I got one of them.
And they manage a kill.
That's it for shooting.
Charge phase. Here comes the meat wall. The Lead Belchers in Tanya's half have reached those knights, and with an 11-inch rolled for the charge, that is 11 dice to roll 3-ups for mortals.
I'm really excited to do these mortal wounds into you because I get to roll 11 dice.
Oh.
And she scores 7 of them. Oh my Lanta.
1 dead, 2 dead, 3 dead, and 1 on 1 wound.
See, this is actually what this list is made for, is if I get these long bomb charges, the mortal wound output is potentially devastating. And that is what happened with these Lead Belchers.
The Iron Blaster charges now, scores an 8, and on 4-ups, he'll do mortals. That is 1 dead horsey.
4 mortal wounds.
What if I don't wanna?
Too bad, take them in Lycra.
Oh, I get ward saves. I saved one of them. You only killed 1 horsey, and 1's down to 1 wound.
Okay.
You've broken the tip of the spear. Yeah, mortal wounds be no joke, especially on the charge, doing a heck of a lot.
Okay, then I'll just try to stomp you.
Iron Blaster is stomping some of those horses into potential stew pot contents.
You have killed 2 more knights. Bye, knights.
So he's not great in combat, but, you know. So the clubber's gonna hit 4s and then wound on 3s.
4-up save? Got it. I get to fight.
Yes.
And I actually get to fight with 2, so I get to fight with both of my units.
Yeah.
Pile in here with these horses. Oh, 4 mortal wounds.
You got him.
The knights clap back and kill the Iron Blaster, but its damage is done.
Over here, these guys pile in and see if they can't kill 1.
2 knights back into the Lead Belchers.
Oh. Nope.
Takes another wound there. And then the sword. And wounds you once.
6 up. Nope.
Wow, I managed to get 1 of them down to 1 wound. It's so great.
No Lead Belchers go down.
Well, I guess I'll activate there. So 8 attacks total, and then the guy with the Noblar on his shoulder gets an extra 1. This will be 3s and 3s.
Lead Belchers fight now, and an Ether Quartz spend gets Nick to save. However, the Battle Shock test may still kill him.
Save them all.
All right. That's okay. I wasn't planning on killing you. I just had to get there.
So they're alive. You took the objective away.
I
from me,
did.
but they are alive. Tanya's managed to take both objectives away from me and done a lot of damage to both units of knights. I have to take some battle shock tests. So this one over here, these Dawn Riders, do they run away?
The 2-man unit holds in Battle Shock, but his larger unit loses 2 models. Oh no.
That felt rough.
I mean, I lost some stuff too.
I really want to go first next round as well, because I need to keep up the pressure and I need to do damage to her before she's gonna get into my lines. This next turn, if she goes first, she's gonna charge almost everything I have, and there's gonna be very little left.
I wouldn't say that those dice are as good as mine, because if Nick gets the first turn in the next round, you know, the whole thing could swing in a completely different direction, so, you know, nothing is over until it's over.
That was a solid turn for Tanya there. She scores 3 on primary for holding 1, 2, and more. She scores her battle tactic, gaining momentum, and that puts her to a total of 9 points to Nick's 3. End of round 2. Turn 3 priority roll here is a pretty big one. I think Nick needs it more than Tanya does, as he needs to push forward into the field. Tanya's still got some tricks up her sleeves, and Nick may not be aware of them.
Oh, I get a 3.
I got a 1.
Oh.
Looks like Nick will gain priority and go to 2 command points to Tanya's 3 with a score of 9-3 in Tanya's favor. Tanya does get to choose the active objective this turn, and she's chosen the outer flank one that is keeping the scoring away from Nick. That is super smart. As his battle tactic, Nick chooses Desecrate Their Lands. He chooses the mountain that is in Tanya's deployment zone, and he's got Tunnel Master on the character, so he can get there with ease and score those 2 points.
I'm going to try and get a command point on my Butcher.
For Tanya's heroic action, she attempts to get a command point in her butcher, but fails. Nick attempts to heal his Lord Regent for his heroic action and does so. It's time to cast some spells.
Magic phase. We are going to do some sun metal weapons on those guys over there. The Dawn Riders. 6, 7, it's achieved. My Caligrave.
Caligrave casts Erasure with his Deep Thinker once per game ability, does D3 mortal wounds to the butcher.
D3 mortal wounds. You take 3 mortal wounds.
No.
And then the Enlightener, I think wants to try to do another Eclipse. On a 9, with 2 dice.
Don't do it.
Oh, Total Eclipse fails again. With a peril and using his last ether chords there, he still fails, but at least he doesn't peril and blow his brains out.
For her second spell, she is going to cast Mystic Shield on the Knights. And that goes off. Then we're gonna go to the Knights themselves right here, are gonna try to give themselves Sun Metal weapons.
The Knights fail to cast Sun Metal weapons.
The Archers are gonna try to give themselves Sun Metal weapons, which they succeed.
Okay. Nope.
Spearmen are gonna try to give themselves Sun Metal weapons. For 8, they do. So the Lord Regent is gonna cast the Greater Power of Hish.
Okay.
The Lord attempts to cast Greater Power of Hish, and he fails.
No.
Darn it!
But not a head explosion.
Not a head explosion. Wizard phase is done.
It's a long phase.
Movement phase. They're gonna stay in combat. These guys are gonna attempt to do 4 wounds.
I want to redeploy.
Tanya redeploying her lead belchers for 1 command point here. 2 inches isn't much, but it'll make it harder for Nick to get them. She's down to 2 command points.
These guys are gonna move out here and tempt you to come this way. Come fight over here. These archers have to move closer because unfortunately you killed their ballista. The Lord Regent is gonna go up here, give himself options. The Enlightener is gonna move up a little bit. The Blade Lords will run. And the Light of Eltharion will run as well. All right, I've moved up. I'm gonna use the Tunnel Master ability on my Caligrave, and that's gonna allow me to pick them up and put them somewhere else on the board, allowing me to score Desecrate their land, scoring me some points in the backfield there. That is the movement phase. Let's go into the shooting phase.
Okay.
My Enlightener is gonna shoot things into here. She's got a magic staff. D6 shots.
The lead belchers take some damage from Nick's Enlightener in the shooting phase here.
3 damage. Then we are gonna go with the Light of Eltharion into your chef.
Okay.
Anything but a 1. Of course, saying that, it's gonna be a 1.
Maybe.
Oh, it's a 3. All right, so it goes off.
Okay.
Only D3 mortal wounds.
Okay, so he's got a chance.
1 mortal wound. Then my last shooting weapon, all my archers are gonna shoot into these lead belchers.
Nick spends their last ether chords to make them +1 to hit to offset the -1, and Tanya spends a command point on all-out defense and only loses 1 lead belcher.
That's the end of the shooting phase. Charge phase.
Bring it.
Light of Eltharion goes for the big 12-inch charge here. Nope. Lord Regent charges into the butcher. Dawn Riders into the lead belchers.
5, that should be enough to get them in. I'm thinking I'm actually gonna charge these archers in. A lot of people are gonna say this is a stupid idea, but they don't have much else to do, and I really need to take some objectives.
Archers are attempting to charge the lead belchers. This is a really risky move. Nick could lose these archers here. He's in, but at what cost? Nick's at 2 command points, Tanya's at 1 in the combat phase. This could be really interesting. Nick's gonna get to activate 2 units because he's Lumineth. Tanya spends her last command point on all-out defense. Can Nick down him?
5 attacks, 6s do 2 mortal wounds. Oh yeah, 2 mortal wounds, plus 3 hits.
2 at -1, so I need to make both of these, so I need 5s. Ah,
It
nice.
does another 2 damage to you, killing the butcher. I'm gonna go with the archers, actually, because they've got enough attacks, enough mortal wounds, might be able to kill 1 or 2, it might be able to save the archers there. Pile in and pull out their daggers and start stabbing. I'm gonna spend a command point to all-out attack
Okay.
to hit on 2s. Hitting on 2s, 3 mortal wounds because I still have sun metal weapons. That turn into 2 more wounds.
5s. I save 1.
So I killed 1, and 1 is left with 2 wounds left. Okay, got it.
Nick's down to 1 command point, all-out attack on the archers, and he's killed only 1 lead belcher. That is not enough.
I'm going to activate them next.
These ones here.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? I don't care. I'm gonna go into these guys.
I'm gonna spend my last command point for all-out defense.
Okay.
So these knights are going to get an extra plus, so they'll be at 3s.
So this will be 3s and 3s.
Okay. threes. I need to make all of these. Oh no! You killed both knights. Come on!
Yay!
Then I get to go, and I'm gonna go with the knights over here. Okay. They're gonna go into the lead belchers here. They're gonna use one of their aether quartz. They haven't used any yet. Use it to increase their attacks by 1.
The other squad of knights now use their ether quartz. They hit on 2s, but no mortal wounds.
I saved 1. I'm gonna get rid of this guy. That guy down to 2.
The dashing hooves on 4s.
Need 5s.
How many wounds left?
3.
And then lastly, the guardian sword, hitting on 2s, hit them both, wounding on 4s.
6s. Nope. He's down to 2. 5 attacks. So this will be 4s and 3s.
Okay. Perfect. The Mystic Shield helped. They're alive.
At the end of the combat phase, I do get to try and bite you. So I'm gonna start with this unit of lead belchers on the flank. On a 4-up, nope. And then the other ones, 4-up, yes. You'll take 3 mortal wounds.
I got my ward save at least. And I didn't get any of them. So 3 wounds kills one of the riders.
3 mortals, and he eats a horse with an elf side salad.
Because I used an ether quartz here, my bravery actually now counts to 6. I've lost a guy, so on a 6, they could run and fail. Let's see if these guys run away on a 6. We're good. That is the end of my turn 3.
The only battle shock test succeeds, and Nick's turn 3 summary is a good one. He scores 3 on primary, he scores 2 points for his battle tactic. That puts him to primary 4 and secondary 4, 8 points to 9 as we head into Tanya's turn 3.
At the start of the turn, we're each gonna get a command point.
Tanya's turn 3, she's choosing eye for an eye for her battle tactic this round. She just needs to kill one of Nick's units.
It's a pretty easy one.
Yeah, there you go, that's fun.
So my hero phase is done.
Oh, you have no hero. No, you have one hero.
Oh, I get to do something with him. What do I want to do with him? I'm going to finest hour on my tyrant.
My general here, the Lord Regent, will try to get a command point. Let's see if I can get a command point for him. He did. He's got a command point.
Cool. So I'm gonna move.
Here comes the scary dudes that haven't done anything in the game for 2 turns.
Oh boy, those pikemen are in trouble. Tanya's general is closing.
So that's all my movement. So now I'm gonna try shooting.
I am gonna spend a command point on all-out defense for them.
They didn't move, so they're gonna be 2d3 shots each. 5.
More lead belchers, more shots bouncing.
1 damage.
Oh, we lost 1.
They'll do the same.
On 4s. All of them!
Oh.
Yeah, good job, knights.
My tyrant is going to shoot. So he has 2 pistol shots, 5s. No.
Shining Company.
So that's it for shooting.
Managed to avoid the worst of it.
I'm going to charge. I'm going to start with my tyrant.
Charge phase now, and that tyrant slams into the pikeman and manages 4 mortal wounds on the charge.
I lost 4 guys from here.
Iron Guts are going to charge with a 9.
Those poor horses. Won't someone think of the horses, please?
Iron Guts are in with a 9-inch charge. That's a lot of mortals. 7. My sweet potato pie. There's only 1 horsey left.
This is the fight phase now.
Yeah.
You're choosing unit to fight.
So the lead belchers are going to go in first.
The 2 lead belts are still in combat with a lone knight. Wound him twice. Nick saves both wounds. That is really big.
Oh, they live! Oh, just barely. Good job, knights. I think the call here is actually to fight with these archers first, because they still have their sun metal weapons. Yep.
Nick gets to fight with 2 units now, and the archers are going to go first and take down 1 more lead belcher.
I'm actually going with these pikemen over here. 4 attacks, hitting on 2, 6 are mortals.
The pikemen do 2 wounds to Tanya's general.
And takes 2, so he's down to 6. So I piled in my Iron Guts. The Iron Guts are a really expensive unit, and they've just sort of been sitting there not doing too much. I'm hoping that I'm gonna get to clear 2 units with them with their Fight Twice ability.
Tanya's turn with her Iron Guts, and she doesn't have enough dice.
We've got those victory dice over there you can have probably in a few minutes.
3s. -2.
-2? Yeah. So then they'll use their last ether quartz.
And 3s.
I only have 1 wound. I've got to get 4 ups on all of these. I was darn close.
So close.
I was darn close. Very, 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 very dead.
That is a super pasted knight. That's what a 580-point unit will do to you.
Those Iron Guts are tough. They just do so much damage.
They're gonna fight again at the end of the phase.
Now it's my turn to choose a unit to fight. Now I could choose to use my leader and pile in and fight you.
Tanya's using all-out defense on her Iron Guts to try to protect them as much as possible.
Any 6s are 2 mortal wounds.
Okay.
1 6, that's 2 mortal wounds.
I save 1,
2 damage each.
so 4 damage total.
The light courser with 3 attacks, hitting on 3s.
3s.
Tanya saves the Horns of Claws. The Tyrant downs the Pikeman.
He's got to fight. Hitting on 4s.
Okay.
Yeah, -1 hit.
3s to wound. No, nothing.
I'm using his command point to give him all at defense. He's got a 2-up save.
4s.
5 4-ups. I can do this. I saved 3 of them. How much damage does it do?
3 apiece.
Oh, he's dead, duo. Goodbye, Lord Regent. I will miss you. Well, that was rough. Unfortunately, because you killed him, I no longer have enough Venari units left to do my grand strategy.
Tanya scores 3 on primary, 2 for her battle tactic to make 8 and 6 respectively to go to 14 points. More importantly, however, Nick does not have enough units left to actually succeed at his grand strategy. So Venari Assault is unattainable for Nick at this point in the game. 14 to 8, and the priority roll here is gonna be big.
Cleared the middle of the board. I'm looking really, really good. I've maneuvered very well, but now it's all gonna come down to what the Light of Etherion can do. Can I get my charge against it? Is he gonna get a charge against me? We sort of have to figure out what that character is doing, and that's gonna set up basically how the game ends.
We gotta roll for priority. Do you want first or second this time?
It doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter. You're so confident in victory, it doesn't matter.
Who chooses the active objective is going to be big. The Iron Guts dominating her mid-board already. If Tanya wins the roll and decides to go with a double turn, is this the end of the Lumineth?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, it's a 1.
I got a 2.
Tanya gains priority. This could be trouble. As a battle tactic, she chooses Desecrate their lands.
Tanya managed to get the double turn right when I needed it. That's gonna allow her to charge right into my lines. Things are looking dire.
I would like to bring the fight to you.
Oh,
that's what
you
I
wanna
would
come
like
fight
to
me.
do. I would like to. But that means that you get to choose which of these objectives is active.
She ticks up to 2 command points, and Nick only gains 2 for going second. Nick does choose to activate the objective that's right in front of him.
So on your turn, what battle tactic do you choose?
I'm gonna take Desecrate their lands because I've basically got my Tyrant there anyway.
Yeah, you just desecrate that for sure.
Tanya chooses Desecrate their lands for her battle tactic. That's going to be the buildings that are right in front of her Tyrant.
So I just have to basically hop the fence and get into your deployment
You're
zone.
gonna burn all the villagers' homes.
Yes, I am.
Attempting a heroic action on her Tyrant to gain a command point, and that fails. Nick attempts the same for the Light of Eltharion, and it fails.
Moving. My Tyrant is gonna take a run.
Okay.
So,
Take a nice little jog.
gets to move 11 inches.
Let's go take that objective there. Why don't you?
I have to take a jog, otherwise I'm not gonna get my battle tactic or my grand strategy, which is gonna give you a really good opportunity.
Yeah, I'm gonna run and get those home objectives
Yeah,
there.
you are.
The Iron Guts are moving up to get into Nick's home objective.
Shooting phase, they're gonna shoot over here.
Yep, at your Caligrave.
Leadbelcher's targeting Nick's Caligrave. It takes 3 wounds.
On 6s! I got none.
1 damage apiece.
All right, I have 2 wounds remaining with the Caligrave.
He's going to attempt to shoot in. 2d3 for him. You could if you want.
You killed 4 guys. Ouch.
That's it for shooting.
Okay.
So I'm gonna charge. Okay, so I got an 8.
You can't kill the lights. I still have 1 ace up my sleeve. The Light of Eltharion is still a very big beat stick. It can do a lot of mortal wounds. It can do a lot of high rending damage. That's pretty much what I'm hanging my entire game on at this point.
Iron Guts charge in and lay down some mortal wounds into the Light of Eltharion. He takes 7.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
2,
goodness.
4, 6, 7.
He has 1 wound remaining.
That was absolutely incredible. It never happened. Statistically, it shouldn't happen.
Well, that was rough.
Yeah, I rolled really good there. Yeah.
Fighting time.
I'm gonna put these 3 into the light.
Yeah.
And then these 4 will go into the blade guys.
Splitting her attacks, 3 Iron Guts are going into the Light of Eltharion, and 4 go into the Blade Lords. Nick spends a command point on all-out defense and Ether Quartz.
First one. Failure. Oh, the light. You could have been so awesome. The light has faded on the hopes and dreams of the Lumineth. With the falling of the light of Eltharion, the light has died on this battlefield. The Lumineth's light has gone out, and is a sad day for the forces of goodness.
Yay, Ogre! Nick is in trouble here, folks. I think that's all she wrote.
Ogres have won the field. Well done, Tanya.
Thank you.
With 3 more primary and another battle tactics scored, that takes Tanya up to 19 points. Nick cannot attain his grand strategy, and the final is gonna be 19-12 in favor of your winner and first ever AOS champion on the channel, Tanya the Warmistress.
And a very deserved win of some amazing victory dice. You have earned those.
My inner dice goblin is very, very happy.
We hope you enjoyed our first ever AOS game, and we can't wait to bring you more. Special thanks to Tanya, this episode's champion, and to Nick for a fantastic first ever AOS game. Also, special thanks to this episode's sponsor, GameMat.eu. Remember, their products are ready for battle straight out of the box. Let them help you build your battleground. Check out GameMat.eu and be sure to tell them PlayOn sent you. Don't forget, if you like what we do, please consider supporting us through YouTube membership or Patreon. You'll get exclusive releases as well as behind-the-scenes interviews, early access to most of our shows, and access to our Discord, the most happening 40K community around. That's it for us, folks. On behalf of everybody here at PlayOn, this is JT McDowell saying, until the next time we see you on the battlefields of the mortal realms, play on.
Tanya, thank you so much for playing. I was glad to have you in the studio. You were an amazing teacher, you were a great sport, and you beat me fair and square with great tactics. I can't wait to have you in again.
Nick is always such an amazing opponent. He is always narrating the story for you. It's always super fun, and I hope that I was able to maybe teach him a few things and help him feel a little bit more comfortable with the rules of the game. I just hope that he had as much fun as I did. I hope this isn't the last time that there's Age of Sigmar on this channel, because I also have a Night Haunt army that would love to make its debut.
And one more shout out to Dr. Reiner for helping me to paint this Lumineth. The army is looking gorgeous.